Hello, I'm Greg Harrison with the USDA Market News Service here in St. Joe, Missouri with your National Feeder Cattle Summary this week. Looking at prices this week, feeder calves mostly under 550 pounds, sold steady to 5 higher, and that's a really early part of this week. Then from midweek on, we're seeing some of the calf market trending lower as $5, and some places a little more and some places a little less, as the feeder cattle board futures kind of took some sharp declines this week. Bigger calves weighing over 550 pounds and yearlings pretty much traded steady at best to $5 lower all week. Lightweight calf buyers were aggressive to buy calves to fill orders, and receipts were fairly heavy this week, with only one more full week of marketing left before buyers and sellers and auction barns start winding down for the Christmas break. Bigger calves and yearlings this week felt some pressure as the cattle market on Monday of futures on live and feeder cattle took a pretty good hit as contracts closed mostly limit down. Then on Thursday of this week, we saw another limit down move into feeder cattle contracts. Declines in the cattle futures and fat cattle markets are looking to find some footing through the end of the year. And last Friday's disappointing lower moves in the cash-fed cattle market trade is keeping markets under pressure. Cattle bulls are wanting to head to the exits, and bears are coming out of the woods, and this has packers not wanting to pay any more for fat cattle and feedlots not wanting to take any less than they have to. Box beef cutout values have hit the pre-Christmas slump, got into the blues as poor processing margins are keeping packers on the defensive as the seasonal slide. We're seeing some seasonal slide in the box beef prices. This has packers pretty much wanting to put a full court press on the fed cattle trade. Some of these lightweight calves weighing from 350 to 450 pounds. It's trading with very good active market this week. These light calves have more options, and cattle growers need, as long as they can, to see if they can grow them up efficiently into yearlings for next summer. And many auctions this month are holding special bred cow and heifer sales at the public auction yards in Billings, Montana. They held their annual Blue Ribbon special bred heifer and cow sale, a big two-day event, Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, where they sold over 7,000 head of top quality bred heifers and cows. A packed house of buyers were in attendance to buy long strings of reputation bred cows and heifers, with many of the top quality bred heifers weighing over 1,000 pounds to calve in February and March, selling from $2,800 to $3,100. And had a lot of young cows, 3 to 4 years of age, to calve in February through April, trading from $2,700 to $3,125, and some very high quality young cows at $3,550 to $3,875. And with many auctions holding special bred cow and heifer sales, this has many farmers and ranchers with gooseneck trailers and plenty of hay and grain going to the auction to try to pluck one more bred cow to add to the herd, or at least find one that's young enough to give it one more try to get one more calf out of her. And then all these replacement auctions at this time of the year are selling with very good demand on an active market at this time. And this week, USDA on Wednesday came out with their supply and demand report on grain, and pretty much contained few surprises with no large changes before year's end. Estimates, or the final estimates, will be issued in January. But USDA left the corn balance sheet alone pretty much unchanged, with ending stocks just below 2 billion bushels. So this week's market on the feeder cattle, a lot of the bigger calves weighing over 550 pounds and the yearlings trading with some pressure this week, steady, like I say, steady at best to $5 lower, and some of the lightweight calves early week were trading steady to 5 higher, and from midweek on feeling some pressure as the futures and markets are seeing some sharp declines this week. So we'll be back with you next week. That's all I have with you. Take care, and you can catch more of our markets at this website. Thanks for listening.